and welcome back to Reading with Jess. I am so excited to see all of you. Wow, I've really missed reading to you, but I have some really exciting news to tell you. The news that I want to tell you is that I'm going to be reading a book series. What's a book series, you might ask? So, a book series is books by the same author, but they're broken down into different parts. So, I'm going to be reading 4 stories over 4 weeks. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4. The series is all about a village. A little village called Cooksville, and very interesting and exciting and mysterious things happen in Cooksville. But I'm not going to tell you more because I want you to listen.
Sheriff Georgie and the Rinky Dinky Rascals by Martin Gray. In the faraway land of yonder, past the forest of the flom-flom trees, there's a dusty old town named Cooksville. Folks there are called cookies. Some are good, some are bad, and some are just rinky-dinky rotten. The sharpest little cookie of them all is Georgie Green, and she's the town's sheriff. One bright, golden morning, Sheriff Georgie enjoyed the warm sun on her cheeks. Everything in Cooksville was quiet and calm. Suddenly, Bluey's ears rang out loudly. A pony pug's ears ring an alarm when trouble is coming. "What's wrong?" Deputy Will asked when he heard the ringing. Deputy Will had been painting Sheriff Georgie's office. "It gets dusty and dirty in Cooksville." "I can see an old cart bouncing towards us," said Georgie. "The Rinky Dinky Rascals are coming to town." "Howdy, Sheriff," said Ralph Rinky, twisting a lollipop in his mouth. "Howdy, Sheriff," said his brother Dirk Dinky, who wore a tiny hat. "Is it true the bank safe is broken and you are looking after their gold?" Ralph asked. "That's none of your business," said Georgie. "Now move along, we'll be watching you." But the rascals had already seen the bulging sack behind the door. Sheriff Georgie knew the Rinky Dinky Rascals would do anything to get their hands on the gold. Later that morning, 2 little old ladies shuffled up to the sheriff's office. "Quick, deputy," one of them squealed. "2 boys are lurking around outside the bank." "Thank you, ladies," said Will. "It might be the Rinky Dinky Rascals." And he sprinted off to see if they were up to no good. The old ladies started to laugh when Will was out of sight. It was Ralph and Dirk dressed up. "We tricked him so easily," said Dirk, spinning his wig around in delight. But Daft Dirk lost his grip on the wig. Whish! The heavy wig flew through the air and landed on a very startled Bluey. Bluey was not happy and kicked Dirk hard on his butt cheeks, straight into a heap of hot, steaming pony pug dung. Blop! Ralph laughed. He laughed so much, his jelly belly wobbled. It wobbled and wobbled until his old lady skirt slipped down. Georgie saw Ralph laughing and knew the rascals tricked Will and were trying to steal the gold. She quickly lassoed Ralph's leg and pulled the rope. Splash! "Get out of here, you tricky tricksters," she laughed, "and pull your skirt up as you go." But Sheriff Georgie knew they would be back. The Rinky Dinky Rascals do not give up easily. A little while later, the rascals sneaked round the back of the sheriff's office. Dirk spotted an open window. "Quick, Ralph, help me climb in," he said. Ralph grunted as he tried to lift his heavy brother. "Oomph!" he moaned. "You eat too much pumpkin pie." Georgie watched the brothers struggle for a few minutes. Then she wandered over to an old wagon wheel that was leaning against the wall. She gave it a push. It rumbled towards the rascally rascals. "Yelp him a bob!" Ralph shrieked as the heavy wheel rolled over his long toes. Dirk was stuck in the window. His legs flapped about like a pair of pants in a strong wind. "Get out of here, you sneaky sneaks!" Georgie laughed. "Get back to your pies." But Sheriff Georgie knew they would be back. The Rinky Dinky Rascals do not give up easily. As soon as Ralph's toes stopped throbbing, the brothers crept back. "Dig a deep hole here," said Ralph, pointing on his map. "Then you can build a tunnel straight to the gold." "Why do I have to do the digging?" Dirk asked. He wasn't happy doing all the hard work himself. "You do the digging," said Ralph, "because I do the thinking." "Well, I think," Dirk ranted, "that you are a lazy, bossy buffoon. And you smell like sweaty socks." Before you could shout, "Dust up!" the Rinky Dinky Rascals were swinging wild punches at each other. Georgie and Will heard all of the ballyhoo and went to investigate. "These rascals need to cool off," said Georgie, turning on the tap. "Ready, deputy?" "Let them have it." Whoosh! Ralph and Dirk were drenched. They flopped, dripping and squelching, back to their cart. But Sheriff Georgie knew they would be back. The Rinky Dinky Rascals do not give up easily. This time, the rascals climbed to the top of the town's highest hill. "It's simple," said Ralph. "The cart will smash through the office wall. When you're inside, grab the gold and run." He pushed the cart down the hill. "No!" screamed Dirk. Georgie watched the creaky old cart pick up speed and hurtle towards her office. Slowly, she took a barrel from a stack of barrels and rolled it towards the cart. The barrel hit the cart's front wheel with perfect timing. Screech! Dirk shot out like a bullet. Shot out of the cart, shot out of his dungarees, shot up high into the air, and straight into a flum-flum tree. Georgie laughed. "Nice pants, Dirk. Now stop hanging around and get out of here." But Sheriff Georgie knew they would be back. The Rinky Dinky Rascals do not give up easily. Ralph and Dirk were soon back, planning one last raid. Georgie shouted, "Deputy, I'm going into town. Please keep your eyes on the gold." Will nodded and snuggled into his favorite chair. It had been a troublesome day, and he was tired. The Rinky Dinky Rascals looked at each other. A sly smile spread slowly across their cheeky cheeks. The rascals tiptoed into the sheriff's office as soon as Will fell asleep. Dirk tied Will up. Ralph grabbed the sack, and they dashed away faster than a rocket full of rabbits. Georgie slowly strolled back in. "Great! My plan worked perfectly," she said. "What plan?" mumbled Will. "I fell asleep. I'm so sorry, Sheriff." Don't worry, she said. The bank fixed the safe and I took all the gold back earlier. So, what did the rascal snatch? Will asked. It was an old sack full of Bluey's dried up dung that I painted with your gold paint, laughed Georgie. Those crazy Rinky Dinky Rascals stole a big pile of pony pung plop. Meanwhile, deep in the middle of the Flom Flom forest, the greedy Rinky Dinky Rascals ripped open the sack of treasure. They stared at the pile of pongy pony pung poo, and they stared at each other, and they both groaned, "That stinks!"